Hi everyone, this is a practice problem on IB exam for Math SL, standard level. So these are the questions we're going to ask. It's 4 parts and we'll go over each piece of this. So for the first part, f of x equals this function here, and x is positive or equal to 0. Show that f of 2 pi equals 2 pi. So merely just plug in 2 pi everywhere there's an x. So 2 pi plus a sine of 2 pi minus pi divided by 2 plus a. So this is going to equal 2 pi plus a sine 2 pi minus pi over 2 is 3 pi divided by 2 plus a. Sine of 3 pi divided by 2 is negative 1. So if this is negative 1, we're going to get 2 pi. Negative 1 times a is negative a plus a equals 2 pi. So that's that part. It says the graph passes through the origin. So we have point 0, 0, 0.00, comma 0. Let pk be any point in the graph with x coordinate 2k pi, and k is a natural number, and a straight line passes through that point. Find the coordinates of p0 and p1. So we can basically let p1 equal 2 pi, comma 2 pi, because we already did that. So when x is 2 pi, or y is 2 pi, it already gives us that it's at the origin, but if you plug in 0, so f of 0 equals 0 plus a sine of 0 minus pi divided by 2 plus a, you'll get 0. This is, again, negative 1, negative a plus a, which gives you 0. So here's our 2 points. And now we have to find the equation of L. So since we already have our 2 points, p sub 0 is 0, comma 0, and p sub 1 is 2 pi, 2 pi, we can write our equation of the line. So first of all, let's find the gradient. So the gradient's going to be the slope. So that's going to be your m part. So that's going to be 2 pi minus 0 divided by 2 pi minus 0 equals 1. And then you can just write your equation y equals 1x plus b. Plug in one of these points to get your b. So if you plug in 0, b is 0. Same thing, if you plug in 2 pi, you'll get 0. So our L is y equals x. Show that the distance between the coordinates pk and pk plus 1 is 2 pi. So for that one, let's just do it here since I have that there. We're going to let pk equal 2k pi, because that's what we have, the x coordinate. Therefore, pk plus 1 equals 2k pi plus 2 pi, because you keep adding a 2 pi. And to find the distance, you merely subtract them, and it doesn't matter what order. So I'll just take pk plus 1 minus pk. So that's going to be 2k pi plus 2 pi minus 2k pi, and it's the absolute value in case you did the other way, and that's going to equal 2 pi. So that's how we showed that the distance from those two is 2 pi. All right, next we have this little diagram. It's a little confusing. Let's read it. I'm kind of small here. The length of a tooth edge is the distance AB. So there's your saw. The tooth edge of a saw can be modeled by this graph here. And the shaded part of the graph is this part right in here. This is the shaded part. And we already found that to be 2 pi. Because we already found that. It says the saw has a tooth edge which is 30 millimeters long. Find the number of complete teeth on the saw. So basically, I'm just going to draw a simpler triangle here. It's a right triangle. This would be your X. This is your Y. And it says this distance here is 30 millimeters long. So this is, 300. So I can use the Pythagorean theorem, get x squared plus y squared equals 300 squared. All right. In our case, since this line here is y equals x, that was your L, recall. That means these two sides are the same. This is 45 degrees here. So that means I can call this yx, because these are going to be the same lengths. So I can rewrite this as x squared plus y squared, plus x squared equals 300 squared. So we get 2x squared equals 300 squared. Divide by 2, you get 300 squared divided by 2. Take the square root, and we want the positive. So that's going to be 300 divided by square root of 2. Now, that's the exact value, or you can write this as a 212, or 0.132. That would be another exact value for IB. So that's your X value here, this value. Now, what they want to say is find the number of complete teeth on the saw. We already know that one of these is 2 pi. So all we have to do is take our value, 212.132, and divide that by 2 pi. You have to use your calculator, and when you do that, you get 33.7618. Now, you can't have partial teeth on the saw, and you can't round up because you have to round down. So we don't want, it says complete teeth. So round down, so that means there's 33 teeth. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.